Hello, my name is Samara. I'm out here hiking near Crown King and I am going to take a self-portrait somewhere behind here, and I thought it would be fun to just kind of walk through that process. I did something similar to this back in June or July last year, 2023, and I was about like 6 months into photography, and now it's been a year and some things have changed and how that process works for me, and I thought that I could walk through my process a little bit better. This time I will be recording, like right now I'm using the camera that I'll be taking the photo, but otherwise I'll switch to this camera, which is Riley's old Sony. I don't remember which kind, but of course I'll put it somewhere. And actually use my Lumix to take the photos. I know the lighting's not great and I don't necessarily need to be wearing sunglasses, but I'm honestly just looking at myself in the viewfinder and don't want you to see that my eyes are over there. Anyway, let's get down to it. The spot is going to be right behind me on that rock, and I have a green dress that I will change into and try not to destroy it like I've destroyed my leggings walking on this freaking trail. It's mostly fine, but then there are a couple areas where there's some spiky guys that just dig into these leggings. It's probably time for me to get hiking pants. That wouldn't even be an issue. So yeah, let's get right to it. Clip this over here. There we go. I do not have a lot of time. I can see that weather is getting ready to come in, which will make for really, really cool photos, but I will feel a little rush getting through this. And man, these thorns are really attacking me. I guess it's my fault for choosing this spot. But anyway, so I have this camera here set up. I will try to do a quick little record of what I'm thinking here. I have this rock and my intention is to be, let's get this to record. My intention is to sit on that rock and look out into the distance. And I really, really like the fact that there are these clouds or fog or whatever it is. It's probably clouds because it's about to storm or rain, not really storm. And sit on there, and the way I like to frame things is what I look for is I don't really want all this stuff in front, like the grass at the bottom. I really like to, I don't know, I just like things to look as clean as possible. And so I'm just going to cut it off sort of here, like where I don't see any more of these rocks or the grass. Maybe that's fine. Yeah, I guess we could just do something like this. And then again, I'll be wearing the green dress and sitting on the rock and just looking out into the horizon. And that's pretty much the frame of this. It would be nice if I could move this over slightly, but again, I'm just super agitated with all of the shrubbery here and the thorns that I'm not really going to make any adjustments. I'm mostly satisfied with how this looks, and so we're just going to roll with it. I think in interest of time and the thorns, I'm going to go ahead and run out and take the pictures, and then I'll walk through the settings that I have the camera set to probably when I'm back in the car, just to make sure that I avoid getting too much rain on me. So yeah, let's just see how this goes. I think it's going to be nice. I think the green dress is going to look really nice in there. Okay, let's get to it. Thank goodness no one's out here, so no one's going to see me get undressed. So I used to use a remote and some sort of shutter connected to the camera to take these photos, but now I found a better way, which again, when I'm in a better setting, I'll definitely show how to get to this, but it's a continuous shooting. And I just think I prefer that because it's easier to just keep posing continuously, as it says in the name. So we're just gonna go ahead and hit that and go. This dress is longer than I realized, which is great because I can actually keep on my leggings and not take them off. Oh no! Oh, freaking thorns. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This dress is way too large. I think it is a size large or extra large. And I got it from Goodwill, but I just like the way it flows. So we're going to use it, even though it's practically falling off of me. Oh man. All right. I'm going to take off the shoes and then climb this rock. Let's do it. The climb begins. Okay. This is Samara from the future. Hello. I finally have time to go through these photos back from the photo shoot. It is September 29th, as you can see up here in this corner, and it's fine. I'm getting to editing videos as I see fit. Whatever. Anyway, over here in this corner, we have the details of the photos, so I can go over that now. I'm using this app called Fast Raw Reviewer, which I pay just like a flat fee for, so I can look at all the photos that I want. These are the ones that I decided to keep, but I took, you know, many more. As you could tell with the continuous shooting, it just shot, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of photos. And then I go through them in this, because you can see on them larger than the preview that you're allowed in. Oh, that's when I realized there's light. Haha. Anyway, you can see them a lot larger than the small window in Lightroom preview. So I first go through the photos in this app, and then whatever I like, whatever makes the cut, then gets uploaded into Lightroom for editing. So anyway, over here, we can see what the settings were. We'll work right to left, which is awkward, but that's what we're gonna do, is the ISO, which I set to 800. Now, sometimes when I shoot, I just leave it on auto. Other times I force it to be as low as possible. So ISO is the camera's sensitivity to light, or the sensor's sensitivity, the camera's sensor sensitivity to light. My gosh, that's hard to say. And the lower it is, the less sensitive it is to light. And then the higher it is, the more sensitive it is to light. So it lets in way more light, and you can risk images being grainy, which for this camera, in the past, I would shoot, you know, as high ISO as I would like, but now understanding the impact that it has to the quality of the photo, I try to stick with an ISO under like 3200, and even that's pushing it. Like I try to stay as low as possible. There are ways to, in Lightroom, denoise, and that's been really, really effective in removing some of that, because photos will look noisy when you have, I guess, like the higher ISO, and there's some other settings that can cause that too, and it does help. But again, terms of trying to keep the integrity of the photo and not manipulate it so much in processing, I just try to keep it as low as possible. So anyway, this is set to 800. Hopefully I explained that well enough. Next we have the f-stop, which is set to 5. It's the aperture, and it is how open or narrow the opening is to the camera hole. And I hope I'm explaining this correctly, but anyway, the effect of that is the lower the number, the wider open it is, but then I find that it focuses in on that area that you told it to focus, and then blurs the rest. So I think the lowest that this camera can go is maybe 2.8, and that's when this is set to 12. Anyway, the intent with this number and this aperture and this f-stop, whatever you want to call it, was to have this area more in focus than these things out here. Now, this last one is the shutter speed. And again, people tend to pick different numbers. I think as I wear clothes that have movement in them and all that, I try to pick a higher shutter speed just to capture that movement as sharply as possible. So I usually use like 500 or 800 if I'm wearing a dress like this. If I'm wearing clothes that don't have a lot of movement, or it's not windy or anything like that, then I'll drop this number down pretty low. You know, as low as I can. But again, as you lower that, then it also brightens the photo, because the shutter takes longer to actually take the photo. So here it's 1/800th of a second, whereas if it was 1/200, that's just slightly slower. But then that's how you can get blur if you're wearing clothes that move. So anyway, these are the settings I used for the photos. It just shows 800. Then this just shows the 5. And then the ISO is set to 800. And then again, it was zoomed in, which we already know about the frame, to 16 mm, which I believe is for the micro four thirds. Okay, anyway, hopefully I explained it well enough. I did not have audio in this part of the video, but I think just talking about how I was situating myself in the dress and how I was going to pose or whatever. I don't really know. And then all of a sudden I noticed that there's light behind me, and I get all excited, which I capture in the continuous shots, which is pretty funny. And when I see that, I'm just like, oh, I gotta hurry up and get the photo while the light's in there. And the pictures that I took actually turned out pretty cool. So I knew it was gonna be great, and it was great. I don't know if I recorded all that, but that was just so perfect. The light came out, and I was talking about, you know, how I was posing and laying out the dress. We'll see if I actually got that on audio or not. And just like that, the light is already gone. The sun just went out so quickly. I really, really hope that looked okay. I'm gonna do a few more poses here, and then probably just call it a wrap, and the rest we'll go over either when I'm back at home or in the car. I'll try to, you know, record the camera.